This episode of Rookie Hunter is brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation. Become a member, join the Lesson 1 Club, and attend their annual convention, Sheep Show, Reno, Nevada in 2020. For more information, go to wildsheepfoundation.org. Hey guys, welcome to episode 109 of Rookie Hunter. If I sound different, it's because I'm sitting in an airport waiting to catch a flight to Anchorage, Alaska. I'll share some more details on that, but this is our bear hunt episode. We got out 1 week ago. Kind of late getting this one up there, but here it is. One of the pieces of gear we tried out on this one was the Sitka Gators. I think we talk about them in the end of the episode, actually. They are light, they are quiet, and we're super happy with them. I've taken them out a few times since then too, and they're coming with me to Alaska. So if you want to check them out and all of our other Sitka gear, you can head over to therookihunter.com, click on the gear tab, and if you see something you like, it'll take you right to Sitka Gear's website. Don't forget to become a member of the Wild Sheep Foundation. Our sheep hunt wouldn't be happening without their support. Go to wildsheepfoundation.org and become a member. And don't forget to go to northarmknives.com to get yourself a blade. Let's get into this episode. Sit back, relax, crack a cold beer, and enjoy episode 109 of Rookie Hunter.
For Air Canada Express, flight 82.
Callie Molnar.
What's going on?
Not much. Not a bad view.
Yeah, nice bowl
Yeah.
to sit at.
Yeah, for sure.
I like finding these spots where you can see like pretty much 180.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, almost like pretty much 180 bang on.
Yeah.
Got a sort of rock cliff at our backs right now.
Yeah.
In front of us, we can see for miles, really, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, for sure.
So I guess we can start with yesterday. We came over to your place, met up with you around 8 o'clock. We hopped in the truck and we headed north out of Kelowna. We've been to this spot before, but not in a couple of years, so it's kind of cool to come back. And yeah, we hit the trailhead. We hiked in here. This is about 12 and a half kilometers where we're at right now.
Yeah.
And where we set up the tent is 10 kilometers in. Quite a bit of vertical to get up into this area.
Mm-hmm.
We're used to hunting on like flatter trails, so it's a bit of a grind to get in here.
If you hear a lot of scratching, it's because we've been getting eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Yeah.
Which is brutal. I think I have about 2 million bites.
Oh, your back is
plus or minus 5.
in them. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was kind of a grind to get up here for sure.
Yeah. Lots of cool stuff on the trail, Cal, on the way in.
Yeah, we saw, what did we see? We saw a whitetail, saw a couple muleys.
Yeah, nice little buck.
Yeah,
He's a
that buck.
spiker right now, covered in velvet, but maybe that still has time to split off into something.
We saw a gardener snake.
Oh
And
man,
you
there was
saw-
tons, because I was at the,
You saw a big ass snake.
yeah, I probably saw like 6 snakes on the way in.
No rattlesnakes.
No rattlesnakes, that's good.
And then we saw 10 bighorn sheep, which was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
At the very top, you look at mountains and you picture sheep being there. And then sure enough, they're at the extreme top of that place. They don't half-ass it.
We were just talking about how it's like kind of surprising actually how many sheep there are in the Okanagan, like north to south.
Yeah, pretty much right to the border.
Yeah.
And then up to...
even into the Kootenays, and
Yeah.
there's tons of them, man, which is pretty cool actually.
Kamloops and...
For them to sort of, I don't know, it seems like they're maybe becoming more of a fixture on our landscape, which I guess is encouraging thing.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but yeah, probably because we're looking for them more now. But
Yeah.
there seems to be lots of them around, so that's cool.
Yeah.
But luckily, we picked a cooler couple of days for this trip. But even by the time we got to where we wanted to set up the tent, it was just scorching, man. Like disgustingly hot and humid, because we had gotten a few days of rain before this too. So I think that sort of like helped to make it feel even worse, really.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And hard to find a good spot for the tent in the shade, so we're setting that up in full sun. And then I actually just laid down in the vestibule for a while. I was feeling pretty like heat strokey.
Yeah.
Even though I was drinking tons of water and that, but fuck, there's just no way to get away from the sun. So that's kind of an eye opener as far as these later, like we're closer to
Late
summer.
spring, summer hunts. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can get dangerous actually. I started getting that dull headache, kind of, where the heat's getting to you.
Yeah.
So we had a good plan for getting additional water, which is a bit of a hike to get to that too. But you got to prioritize that because
for sure.
You don't want to be in a situation where you're kind of going down that heat stroke road with no water.
No, we set up the tent, left our ship behind, and then went and got all of our water.
Yeah.
Well, I got an Algene and a bladder. You've got the big platypus. So that kept us going for the rest of the day, although we slammed all of that water yesterday. Mm-hmm. So that's quite a bit of water, actually, man.
Yeah.
But anyways, after we did the water and kind of chilled out at the tent for a while, we hiked up to the spot that we're sitting in now that we figured would be a good spot to see some bears. And as we came to the crest of where we'd be able to get this 180 view, I think we were looking out for 45 seconds, and I'm like, Cal, bear. Seemed like a decent size boar, kind of wobbling through the brush. And the thing is, like, we're sitting right now where we spotted them, and where we had hoped to go set up is like another 100 yards at least to our right.
Yeah.
And so from this spot, it was too far to take a shot, too far for me anyways. We'd be about 303 to 350, you figure?
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just don't want to take a shot that far.
You said to the left over here was 280-ish.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, he would have been definitely in the threes.
Yeah. So anyways, man, it's kind of funny with bears because they're so fun to watch. So we're looking at him, trying to come up with a plan, and he's like sitting down, and you saw him swatting a piece of grass for a while. He was sitting on his ass and shit like that.
Yeah. Well, we were kind of downwind of him. Or no, other way around.
Yeah.
But he knew we were there. He could smell us, and he kind of sat on his ass and just stuck his nose up in the air, and then every once in a while he'd put his face back down and look at this bush and kind of swat at it, and then he'd look up again and smell. Yeah. So I was kind of having a laugh as I watched you stalk down towards them.
Yeah, they're funny. So the idea was for me to, there's a trail, which is nice, like a horse trail, to kind of go down and close the distance. And before I left, I don't know if we got it on the recorder, but my thought was like, I'm going to see how close I can get in and stalk this guy. And if we blow the opportunity, I guess that's like, we're doing a coin toss here. So I guess this is like part of me that's like, if this bear gets away, it's not the end of the world really, because it wasn't like massive bear, definitely a shooter bear, but it's just funny because they are so charismatic, and that's part of the problem is there's part of you that's like, okay, I'm going to give him a bit more of a chance than I would with a deer or an elk or something like that, right? Yeah. So anyways, I got to our right here where we had planned to go set up, and I ranged him at 200 yards, but then he dropped down below us here, and it's just thick brush basically, so he disappeared from where I was. And I think you maybe, or did you lost sight of him too, eh? When he ducked down in there?
Yep.
So what I should have done, and I'm going to blame heat stroke for poor thought process, but I should have just stayed there and waited for him to either come out to the right or go to the left. But who knows what he would have done? I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, maybe I can see if I can stalk in a little bit closer and like, you know, get in with 100 yards, which would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
And so I followed this trail down. It kind of does like a little bit of an S here. Gets down into the bottom of this bowl, and then it kind of lips up, so I could sneak up there without him really hearing me and hopefully not catching my scent. But in the bottom of the bowl, the way the wind comes in, it almost kind of like, it's like twirling around in there a little bit. So when I was up here, wind wasn't so bad. It was kind of in my favor. But once I was down there, it was actually coming around from the back side of me and pushing my wind directly towards him. And I think you were watching him. I think you probably saw him catching my scent there. So,
Well, I saw him take off.
yeah. So I got to the lip, lost sight of him. I couldn't find him anywhere. And I looked up to you, and you pointed over to our right. So I tried to make my way along this little tiny ridge here, got up behind, and he was like, I don't know, 60 yards, and he was walking. So I actually had like for about, I don't know, 10 seconds where there was like a few alleyways I could have shot through, but he was like, he knew I was there, obviously, and he was just taking off. So the direction that he went would have made me think that he was going to head sort of like south-ish here. But what he did was he headed south, hooked a left, and then went back up north, and it kind of circled around the top of the bowl. So I was going the opposite way that he was. And then when I turned around and looked, he was up on top there. And by that point, you had grabbed your rifle. And you probably had, or you thought it was 200, but it ended up being a lot further. It's like 280 or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, so I don't know. I was doing some calculations just based on like, we were kind of playing that game of like, oh, how far do you think that is? How far do you think that is? And he ended up in a spot that wasn't really where we were testing.
No.
But I was just mentally saying, well, that must be about 200 yards. And then I thought, I don't know. I think like right from the beginning, like you said, we kind of made this decision to not make it as much of a fill the freezer hunt and kind of make it more of a like extreme fair chase situation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Where we kind of respect that. I don't know, like we just respected the bear and just wanted to, you know,
Give him a bit of a chance.
yeah, like even more of a chance almost.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's
I
just
don't know
like
why
what
either.
happened in the situation. So when I saw him over here, one of the things that was going through my head was, I don't think I should take this shot because it could be longer than 2. And it ended up being close to 3.
3, yeah.
And then the other thing that was going through my head was just that kind of how we settled on approaching him in the first place. And I kind of always thought this was your bear hunt. I got one last year. I wasn't really coming into this thinking I was going to get a bear, so I kind of just wanted to play it out, and I knew you would kind of go that way, so I just kind of backed off.
If that was a deer, would you went for it?
If it was a deer or an elk, it would have been on the ground for sure.
Yeah. And for both scenarios, I think, from when I was...
I do need a rangefinder because that would be a smart thing to have. But I think like with a deer or an elk or a moose or like the goal is to get it down on the ground. It doesn't really matter who does it or whatever.
No.
I don't know. This one just had a bit of a different feel. I just feel like bear is just a little bit different approach.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely different.
I just don't feel like we have to have a bear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I want one for the food and stuff.
And this, so this is actually my first time ever even attempting a bear, which is kind of cool. And this is exactly how I wanted it to be, and I did want it to be a bit of a spot and stalk. So really, like in the end, I kind of just blew it. I could have been patient and took a shot from over here, but it was fun, and I kind of learned some shit from it too. And I ended up going way up this fucking hill over here, and from here it doesn't look that bad, but that's like thick brush and rock, and it was brutal getting up there, and the heat was just pounding at that point.
Yeah.
But man, the speed that he got up there, I'm like, oh yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. He's going like 4 times as fast as I ever could through that stuff, which is
Probably more than 4 times.
Yeah, pretty amazing, man.
He literally made it up there in, I would say 2 minutes.
Yeah, at least, yeah.
2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And it probably took about 30 minutes. at least.
Easy, yeah, to get up top there.
I was just hoping you weren't going to shoot that thing up there.
I know, the further I got up there, I'm like, man, it's going to suck bringing this thing down here.
Yeah.
But pretty neat up there, actually.
Yeah, I've always wanted to
It's
go
worth,
back there.
we could take a different route, but go up and sit up on top of some of these cliffs and stuff here. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was fun, man. A decent sized bear. We're pretty sure it was a boar just based on the shape of his head and some of the other characteristics and that. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah, I don't know. He just seemed to be a little more like humpy and shouldery.
Yeah. Yeah, the way they kind of swing their
Yeah.
front legs there.
I still don't feel like it was, I don't know. You think, I would imagine it was 6 foot bear, but I don't know how much bigger it would have been.
Yeah, somewhere around there, I would say.
Like the one I got was like 5.5 feet. It's not a big bear. I feel like this one would have been a little bigger, but I don't think it was a monster.
No. Nope, would have been good eating though.
That seems to be consistent so far with what we've seen in this area.
Yeah, it does, for sure. So we're gonna sit here. I don't know what time it is. It's just morning here. We're gonna hang out for a little while and see if anything walks through here, and then we'll make our way out. We still got 12.5 kilometers to hike out, so something could happen, and it wouldn't be the worst thing if it was closer to the trailhead. So
Yeah.
you got to try out the Hilleberg for the first time, and it's got you to set it up. What do you think?
Yeah, that thing's awesome. I'm surprised at how simple it is to set up too.
Yeah.
You kind of just stake to one side and then it slinkies out.
Yeah, you do the back and then put
Yeah.
the poles through and pull it up. And
Cinch it down. I thought the guy wires have like an extremely simple
the tensioning system on
yeah,
there.
tensioning system on there, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Usually I have to, I don't know, work with knots and
Yeah,
tie shit
it's
and all
just
that.
annoying.
These are just quick release and locking systems. Yeah, the Kadam 3 has a lot of room. Like 3 guys is not an issue whatsoever. The 2 of us had a lot of room.
Tons, yeah.
It's super long, which is great. Your feet and your head are never touching the end.
No, there's a good couple of feet at the end there for
Yeah.
sure.
Definitely want to point it towards the wind so it kind of
Yes.
rips through the tent.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet tent.
nice.
Impressed with the quality, that's for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not even that heavy. Like, it's a big footprint, but it's not
Not bad at all.
that bad.
Yeah, it just smash it into the bottom of my backpack, and then you got the poles, and
Yeah.
it's not too bad at all. Gear stuff, Cal. How close to for what you brought to what you're gonna bring for the sheep hunt? Minus the amount of food, which is a huge consideration, but other than that,
I think it's pretty close.
yeah.
It's just the food, because I brought 2 days of food as opposed to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to run through I don't know what I would have left that I wouldn't have taken here. I did bring my camera. That's one thing I've been going back and forth on. But I'll bring that depending on what other stuff we have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I brought most of it.
Yeah, I got everything, I think, man. I did a couple little videos, but I talked about this pack a little bit. It's Arcadia Supply Co. It's like they just got going through Kickstarter, actually. So Ashley got me this thing, ordered it on there when they were just getting going, and it showed up a couple months ago. And it just like, it's a good little travel pack, but it's also like it folds up into smaller than a little beer can, basically, into a little stuff sack. But you use this to go and get all of our water, so I grabbed both of our bladders and Nalgene bottle and went down and filled up. It's just nice to not have to carry a huge ass backpack with you.
Yeah.
And then to come up where we are now, all I put in here was my kill kit, my water, bladder, and I think that's all that's in here actually. So I can travel pretty light.
Yeah.
If we got something, then I would have to go back and get my backpack, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but at the same time, it's like I've got everything I need to get things started and hung up and
Yeah.
and that. So I think I'm gonna bring this along, man. I can be the water boy and take all of our platters and you guys can set up camp or whatever. I
Sweet.
think it'll come in handy. So,
Definitely.
I like this thing, man. And this actually comes off if you want to rock a fanny pack.
Oh,
You
nice.
can do that too. And yeah, it's sweet. This is all waterproof too. You could huck this thing in a creek right now and it would stay dry.
It's funny. You attach that pouch to your pack belt and it's cool, but if you use it as a fanny pack, it's not.
It's not cool anymore. Trying to think else. We got some new Sitka Gators just came in.
Yeah, they're pretty sweet. I like the inside, how they have the
It's like rubber kind of.
rubber, leathery kind of material,
Yeah.
so you can brush your feet together without kind of making like that's
Swishing noise. Yeah.
like that's my as opposed to.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I got some new trekking poles for half price.
Yeah,
Some
nice.
Lucky cork lights. I never really went hard on the trekking poles, but I think I just changed my mind on this trip because you put your hands through the bottom, kind of like cross country skiing.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like imagine cross country skiing without poles.
Yeah, exactly.
It's harder.
Yeah.
So same with hiking.
Yeah, especially with your knee, there's no point messing around.
Yeah, no. I mean, coming up here, I was ripping pretty good with these poles.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's an efficiency thing. I mean, if it helps you go a little further, it all helps you with the hunt too.
Mm-hmm.
The only pain is obviously your hands are both tied up, so you can't walk around with your camera or do
Yeah.
that kind of stuff. I hear something down
Woodpecker.
there. Yeah, woodpecker.
Nice.
We saw a couple of mule deer in this bowl too, which is promising because I like to come back here for muley.
Yeah. Nice. Trying to think if there's anything else.
Gear-wise?
These shooter gloves are sweet.
Yeah, they're awesome.
So it's like they're super thin. So just for like, if you have to grip rocks or while you're setting up camp and you're banging in tent pegs and I don't know, getting firewood and shit, these are awesome.
Yeah, I mean they're not for keeping your hands warm, really, but
Good for keeping the mosquitoes off. With their they got little breathing hole. These are just
Yeah.
like summer gloves. I like them. So
kind of like mountain bike gloves.
yeah, pretty much. Other than that, man, I don't know. Everything's feeling pretty good. Other than being hot as fuck. It's not too bad right now.
Yeah, it's not too bad right now. It's a bit of overcast.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just see what happens. See if this bear strolls out again. I know they're a bit curious, so maybe he wants to come check this out.
Maybe.
I wish I knew where he went because I have a feeling it's a jungle back there. Can't imagine what kind of stuff.
It's pretty wild in there.
Yeah.
There's like a million little draws you could go through just to get away from.
I wonder how many mule deer are back there.
I don't know. It looks pretty awesome though. Like, I don't know. It's part of me that thinks it'd be sweet to hunt, but at the same time, it'd be like, man, if you got something way back there. Yeah.
Call the helicopter.
There's like, on the backside of that, it's like a boulder field.
Oh yeah.
So you couldn't even walk through it. And then if you go up to the top of that one, you get cliffed out on the end of that. So you got to go back down and come around. Pretty cool though, man. Neat terrain. It's a little different than what we're used to around Kelowna.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty nice though, man. But yeah, what do you figure? How much longer you want to hang out?
I don't know. The sun's gonna be beating down on us here.
Yeah. Give
Just
it
pulled
another.
through the clouds, so I guess we'll see how long we can take the heat and head out.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see something on the way out.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't think so. The only other thing is you brought this little speaker, Bluetooth speaker we
Yeah.
used in the tent, which is pretty cool.
You should post, or maybe not post the video. I don't know. But,
It's handy. Like I don't know if I wouldn't necessarily take it on sheep hunt, maybe, but like
maybe,
for-
man. Sometimes that's like having something like that just brings up a bit of morale too. Like if we're stuck in a tent and we can listen to some funk.
Is that thing a battery charger and a speaker?
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because maybe you could just take that as like a battery charger.
I think
But
you're
then
onto something. That'd be sweet, actually. If the
if it's not and it doesn't exist, then we'll cut this from the podcast and we'll invent it. We'll put a Rookie Hunter Kickstarter out.
yeah, we should. But yeah, it is sweet, man. But yeah, it's hilarious because you took a little video, we had our headlamps hanging from there's like a clothesline inside the Kadam, and we actually had the music pretty quiet on the Bluetooth speaker. But when you took the video, it sounds like it's just blasted in there. For whatever reason, it's way louder coming through the phone speaker than the Bluetooth speakers. It looks hilarious, but yeah, I might consider bringing that. We'll see. It'd be one of those things that's like on the maybe list.
Yeah.
Oh, here's something I was gonna say. If you're ever going through your gear for an overnight trip or whatever it might be, and you look at something for more than 5 seconds, put it in your pack.
Yeah.
I was looking at my mosquito net that Kev got me.
Yeah.
It's probably 5 seconds. I was holding it like, do I need it? No. Fucking tossed it. And man, you were wearing yours on the way in.
I have it in my front pocket.
Yeah. Deluxe spring ring head net. And I regretted not bringing that. So yeah, if you ever got something in your hand for longer, the old 5 second rule, throw it in your
Especially
pack.
something this light.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like air.
Stupid.
I was hesitating about putting it on because it was midday, it was hot, and I thought this thing was going to suffocate me, but it wasn't too bad actually.
Yeah.
Another degree or two warmer around your head, but it beats not having mosquitoes sucking on your face.
Yeah, it's super annoying.
I had a mosquito bite right on my bottom lip, and I can feel it swelling up like a golf ball. It felt like a golf ball. I'm sure it was just small, but yeah, they were relentless.
They were, and still continue to be.
Yeah, I don't know what else. My Helinox chair.
Yeah.
It's always like, it's not super heavy. It's kind of bulky. It's kind of like the size of a sleeping pad, maybe a little longer.
Right.
And I always hesitate with that thing. And every time I'm out here, like right now, I'm sitting on a rock.
I know.
Last night, I was sitting on a foamy that was on a rock.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how comfy your foamy is. Like eventually, you're gonna have to get up and move around a little bit.
Sucks
So
being uncomfortable like 90% of the time.
So it never fails. I always regret not having that thing.
Yeah. I was looking at those a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Comfort. There's a price for comfort, that's for sure. I actually passed out on that rock for a while last night over here.
I mean,
I
you
had
can
a perfect little spot.
Yeah.
I just got lucky.
You can definitely make do without it, but yeah, that's exactly it. I almost feel like you have to get lucky with the spot you pick on the rock. Like,
yeah.
And there's not a lot of those spots to go around.
No. One guy's going to be comfortable and the rest are going to be miserable.
Yeah. It's like there's always one good spot to lay your pack down, and then the other guy's like, how could it be in a bush?
Yeah. Pretty green in here, eh?
Yeah.
For how dry, like even where we set up the tent, it's super dry in there. And this must be why there's bears in here. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of berries up there, eh?
Yeah, you said raspberries.
Raspberries, and then I don't know what those other, they look like huckleberries, but they're not. It's not a bigger sort of like shrub type thing. I don't know what those are, but there's lots of them. So they must be eating pretty good in here. I'd imagine that would make for a pretty tasty bear. Just green
Raspberry bear.
Berries, yeah. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's hang out for another 15, see what happens, and then we'll go back and get the rest of our gear and start heading out.
Sounds good.
See what happens on the way out too.
Oh, these I am actually rocking the Fjallraven pants today just because they're the lightest ones I have, and they're mosquito proof.
Oh, good. To lax them up.
Yeah. So that's good. Shoulders have been eaten alive though.
Is that your final thought?
I hate mosquitoes. That's my final thought.
I agree. All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
This episode of Rookie Hunter was brought to you by the Wild Sheep Foundation, Sitka Gear, and North Arm Knives. As always, it is hosted by Kelly Mullner and myself, Mike Peterson. It is recorded, edited, and produced at Mountain Stream Audio Productions in beautiful Kelowna, British Columbia. Original music written by the one and only Kelly Molnar with help from Graham Ord, Darcy Booth, and Chip Sleedermean. If you want to help us out, there's one thing you can do. You can go to iTunes or wherever you get your podcast from and leave us a 5-star rating and a review. And don't forget to subscribe. For more on the show, head over to our website, therookiehunter.com.